And if I tell you that the words translated read something like death, death, life, life, this is the foe to be vanquished. He has caused the sun to rise. Ah, he falters. Ah, he submits, faltering, submitting. Ah, the sun rises. Just off shot, Cardiff were in a huddle with their backs to that, and no wonder really. It is some gesture, and the intention seems there, and let's hope for Cardiff's sake it isn't carried through to its ultimate. And that's a sight that you don't often see here, but of course in Australia, especially in New Zealand, South Africa, it's a regular sight that the man comes on, or the boy usually comes on, with a little bucket of sand, so the ball is easily placed, the turf isn't disturbed, and it makes it so much easier for the place kicker. And what a place kicker that man is, Grant Fox. And just at his side, the referee for the day, the Scotsman, Ray Mexon, a man who hasn't got all that fond a memory of his last appearance here, when it was Wales against England, and of course there were some ugly scenes on that stage, and Wade Dooley and one or two others were involved. So Ray Mexon starts this game then. And it's straight in there, the All Blacks. That's bash up the scrum half. The early tester is from Grant Fox, the tester for Raya. Knocked down, and good covering from Geraint John. He's the man anticipated that knockdown, but already in forcefully is Richard Lowe, seeing that Edwards was on the wrong side and not allowing the referee to make the decision. Bash up with all the options open, Shelford, but no, says the referee. That's too eager to get the ball in and away.
What relief for Cardiff really there. They were on the rack, a great start by New Zealand, a perfect kick, and they'd driven through. Desperate situation, but bad play by the New Zealanders, putting it crookedly. So Ron Williams, just an apology to the referee there, just over enthusiasm at scrum perhaps. As David Evans then gets his first touch of the match, and that's a very pleasing touch as well for Evans. And just an encouraging word to his scrum half as well, Andrew Booth. Sean Fitzpatrick is that man with 2 on his back, giving the ball a little dry, although conditions are absolutely perfect. The 2 7s at the back are Collins and Brewer. Cardiff win that. And indeed released by Watkins, the kick from Booth, but it allows Kerwin. Ford had done excellently there to anticipate that he was onside and put pressure on Kerwin. The crowd already sense an occasion. Under pressure is Shelford. Flipped away by Cardiff. The kick is from John. This is a chase. Kelly Thomas in pursuit with Wright. Back there also is Kerwin, having done the covering job. And indeed, the post gets in his way. And what pressure for New Zealand, what encouragement for Cardiff. That was a great kick by Geraint John, because he noticed that Matthew Ridge was up into the line, saw space there, and a perfect kick by Geraint John, the Cardiff centre. What a chance for Cardiff. Geraint John, the centre, normally an outside half, but it's centre today. And the All Blacks penalised. Quickly taken by Booth. The drop goal is on, but it's charged down. Evans regathers and does remarkably well to get back to his feet and to try and set the ball back for his forwards. They're driven backwards though, and the referee this time decides that it's a New Zealand advantage. Great disappointment there for Cardiff. Booth was very sharp, gave the quick pass to David Evans, but unfortunately for Cardiff, the kick was charged down. The front rows get to grips then. Ron Williams on this side and David Young.
The referee isn't satisfied, has a little look at the other side, the veteran Jeff Whitefoot, the one remaining performer from the 1980 game, and indeed quickly in to make his presence felt with Ian Watkins, just to tell Sean Fitzpatrick and Richard Lowe on that side that Cardiff will stand no nonsense, All Blacks or not. Ray Megson just having a word, of course, will be conscious of one or two problems he's had in the past here at the National Stadium. Just behind the All Black three-quarters there, you see the try line and the posts, so it's very much a defensive position. Interesting though that the backs are lying very deep, so they still have thoughts of attacking as the referee has to tie his laces.
I think it's good in a way because he's settling them down. They're very keen, both front rows. They want to get the superiority over straight away.
The tap from Fitzpatrick signals Bishop to place the ball in the scrum. And Schuster, not his natural foot, the right foot, he's more of a left-footed player really, and not the best clearance, it just eases the pressure away from the All Blacks. That's the man that played for Wales in the preparatory match against Bridgend the other day. He fails to get it away as Murray Pearce, or Ian Jones rather, gets it inside. Now it's Pearce, the other lock forward. Now it's set back perfectly into midfield, and on the charge comes Lowe. Again, set back perfectly. This is Craig Innes in his first game at this level. Strong running centre, but good defence from Geraint John. Shadowed him all the way. So I think Phil Bennett, the All Blacks showing their intention here. It's not just a forward-based game.
No, Matthew Ridge at full-back has been in the line at every opportunity. He looks very sharp, but unfortunately for him and the All Blacks, he hasn't had the space as yet.
That's the Cardiff 10-metre line you see there at the heels of Wayne Shelford, and indeed for the second successive time in Cardiff territory, Bishop just over keen to get that ball in and just slightly crooked, says the referee. But it all means that Cardiff again are allowed to breathe. And this is David Evans, an international player of 2 caps, but those 2 caps won at centre today in the pivotal role for Cardiff. International touch judges as well, helping Ray Megson. That's Murray Pearce, the man jumping in the middle of the line out for the All Blacks with Wayne Shelford just behind him. But that's Edwards that gets fingers, but still not clean. It's to the All Blacks, and it's the same tactic. It's the high up and under from Fox. Kerry Thomas is that man that does extremely well to catch that, make the initial yard. Now he needs help there, but not quickly enough, and that's unfortunate. The work from Thomas was so good, it was so well done, and it really deserved quicker support. And as you see, the front rows are still testing one another, just trying to get the upper hand, just to show that they have the supremacy. And indeed, Ron Williams on this side is really driving up on David Young, not to the displeasure of the referee. Indeed, points that you're driving too quickly, the ball isn't in. So for the second successive time within half a minute, David Evans again eases his teammates up into opposition territory, and that is ever so encouraging this early in the game. That's the giant Cardiff lock, Mark Rowley. He's filling that slot, of course, vacated by Robert Norster. An injury to Norster, an injured arm, means that Rowley gets this great chance to play against the All Blacks. Alan Wetton takes that unopposed at the back. This is Bishop, this is Fox, it is Schuster. Quickly there is Brewer to take the pressure off the centre, but it's won by Cardiff. Booth, but really that would have been wasted. Fortunately for Cardiff, or unfortunately there's a penalty awarded, but Booth really needs to take the game. It's no good kicking possession away in this situation, and the All Blacks though awarded a penalty, and Fox decides that it's out of reach as far as kicking for goal. Really, he is a phenomenal goal kicker, but on this occasion he may well hoist a high kick, or even aim at that. Indeed, it's an aim to the far touchline, and the man knows how to aim at the touchline as well. He's not just a goal kicker, a tremendous kicker of the ball in every phase. Eight minutes gone into the match. It's still scoreless, and it's Cardiff on the defensive. It's won by the All Blacks though. A chance again, into midfield goes Schuster, takes the tackler. So quickly there, the support again, Basher. But as Fox sensed there might have been a gap, plus an overlap, the referee decides the ball had gone forward.
And New Zealand have tried to go down the centre early on. Innes and Schuster have a go, but both Mark Ring and Geraint John have tackled very well.
That head sticking out of the scrum is that of Sean Fitzpatrick. Cardiff number 3 on this side is David Young, a man who left the field during that Wales Bridgend match a couple of weeks ago with an injured hamstring. His first appearance since then as David Evans with a tremendous right-footed kick. Really, that is the way to take pressure off your teammates, and that will give him a huge boost of confidence.
Great kick by Evans, 50 or 60 metres, a slight breeze behind him, but he put it there and he's got his pack good forward.
Cardiff not overawed at the moment then. They've taken these opening 9 minutes very confidently indeed. Jones jumps earlier too, the flat throw at him, aimed straight at him there, done very well indeed. And this is All Black driving. Wetting the man finally to go to ground. This is Basham. Fox, Schuster, the move with Kerwin. This is the flying giant, knocks off Stone as if he's not there. Low delivers, Basham on a little run. This is a huge gap for Mike Brewer. Charges over the 22 with a pass out on the far side to Ridge, the fullback. Support not quite there quickly enough, and finally to ground. What a relief to Cardiff there, but what tremendous combined play from the visitors.
And that all started the line out with a rolling maul. They set it up in the middle with the big man Kerwin coming in, and that absolutely tore holes. Here you can see Kerwin's made the move. Nice run by Bash at the scrum half, but I think Brewer will be kicking himself because he had men on the outside. A simple pass, but it's a long floating pass, and Ridge to take it more or less standing still, and Cardiff, there's the knock on, get away with it.
Still in play then. On the run goes Ridge again, and this time not releasing the ball, having been tackled, but this is the intention being shown from the All Blacks already. Ridge is probably the most exciting player they have at the moment, a young fullback, as Cardiff take that quickly. Evans looks for those great open spaces behind the New Zealand defence, and Terry Wright does extremely well indeed on his left foot. In fact, he used to be a fullback in his early days with Auckland, but one of the quickest players in New Zealand, and there measured his kick to perfection. That's the Cardiff, or the New Zealand 10-metre line, with Cardiff aiming at the line out. Rowley does well there on the front peel, or the intention was the front peel from Crothers, and it's unfortunate that didn't quite work out for the home side. It's not always a pretty sight, is it? A New Zealand front row with Lowe, Fitzpatrick and Williams there. Basham again, this time straight to Schuster. He checks, not all that amount of certainty there about Schuster's play. He was surprised to receive the ball probably directly from the scrum half. It does offer Rhea now a chance to put pressure back on the visitors. That is a perfectly placed kick, lands outside the 22, and that's the crucial element. No chance of a mark there as Ridge is swamped there by blue and black jerseys. That kick of Reyes was placed absolutely perfectly. The half a metre outside the 22, there was no soft option of the mark there, and Ridge had to take the whole weight of the Cardiff pack.
And New Zealand a little uncertain behind the scrum. Basham taking his time, and he doesn't find touch. And look for this perfectly placed kick by Mike Ray. It's a beauty, right up in there. And just watch Ridge takes it very bravely at full back, but he's outside his 22, placed perfectly. Great tackle by Mark Ring going in there, takes him down. There's where Cardiff go in looking for the ball, and the referee, Mr. Mexon, has seen an offside.
That's the kick that faces Mike Ray, Cardiff's first opportunity to get points on the board. He's already got 52 points this season, but really, should he get 3 points here, it would be such a boost for the home side. They've come to this match as no hopers. Can he strike that true? Yes, that's the answer. The first Cardiff player to score points against the All Blacks here in Cardiff since Gareth Davis in 1980. He scored 9 on that occasion. Here it's Ray that offers Cardiff the lead with a penalty goal. Minutes gone then. Fox restarts for the second time in the game. It's Crothers this time, leads by example. The ball just squirms out. Basham just remarkably well initially to keep away from that touchline, but finally Howard Stone was there.
And Cardiff have done fairly well in the liners, but it's noticeable that New Zealand are throwing a lot to Alan Wetton, who's winning a lot of ball at the back, but it's Cardiff's ball this time.
That's the man, Alan Wetton, brother of vice-captain Gary Wetton. Cardiff throw short, quickly through as Fitzpatrick. And the rest of the forwards, it's the straight drive. It's the shortest route, more often than not, as far as the All Blacks are concerned. As Richie Collins tries to keep Wayne Shelford at bay. They'll know one another from the recent past, because they played against one another when Wales played against New Zealand in Australia during the World Cup. Grant Fox, then, the scorer of 302 points for his country, the record point scorer for New Zealand, and a man really who's been a problem for Wales, a constant problem for Wales in the last 3 seasons. This well within his reach. I well remember the second test in Auckland during Wales's last tour of New Zealand. Jonathan Davis, his opposite number, when Fox converted from the touchline for his 7th successive time, that Jonathan Davis just hoisted an arm in salute in respect to this man. Very methodical Fox. The deep breath, the still head, and absolutely true. Cardiff's lead, short-lived then. The riposte from the New Zealanders, swift as they now draw level at 3 points each. The All Black number 10 having got back to his position near his own try line. It's the turn of the Cardiff number 10, David Evans, to restart, and that's for the first time in the game. 16 minutes gone, it's all square, and Cardiff doing pleasingly well in this encounter. And it's outside half to outside half, and just to show that it's not just the right foot that he favours, Fox as well, very competent on that left foot.
And just see where Richie Collins is placed for Cardiff. He went to the front of the line out in the last occasion, but now you see Richie Collins again. He's going to the front of the line out. He's a very good ball player, plays basketball. I wonder would Cardiff go for the quick throw towards Richie Collins, number 7.
Well, he's at the front signalling as well, and he's being pushed out of the way by Ron Williams. Indeed, Cardiff and Collins especially, and it's too slow, says the referee. We want to get on with it. There were people coming and going, and finally lose his patience. This is Fox then. Has opened his account for the tour with a penalty goal. Doubtless there'll be many more of those before the tour is finally over. This is Watkins that aims at the line out. You can see 8 for Cardiff is Mark Edwards. 6 for the All Blacks is Alan Wetton. 8 for the All Blacks. Just in front of him is Wayne Shalford. Nat Pearce in there and seeking some sort of sanctuary is Bashop, Graham Bashop, the Canterbury scrum half. No tests to his credit. This a big occasion for him as Lowe is finally dumped by Collins. Ray Megson, clad in the green, decides that Cardiff were lying on the ball and restricting the All Blacks from winning second phase possession. Can Fox then drive Cardiff back into their own 22? Just the odd spare seat behind that line out there. The crowd is a good one. Of course, it's a club match, not an international match. Really, they've come and they draws. There were huge queues this morning of last-minute spectators wanting tickets, and really the response has been a pleasing one. Stone was the man jumping early for Cardiff. Couldn't quite get it as Bashop on the retreat, and Fox receives Collins as well. This is Schuster. Again, a little bit of indecision. And the referee deciding there were All Black players interfering with Cardiff defenders.
Again, uncertainty with the New Zealand. Look at that hospital pass given by the scrum half Basham. And years where, look, they don't know what's happening. There's Kerwin coming in and it's obstruction. The referee gives a penalty to Cardiff.
And further punished by yet another huge David Evans punt downfield that again settles play exactly or very nearly on the All Black 22. The referee just having a quick word with his touch judge. It's Bobby Clark on that side there. There are 3 Scotsmen running this show today. It's Ray Megson, the referee, and it's a word with Wayne Shalford, the All Black captain, whether it was he or one of his teammates. He's been spoken to as captain of the New Zealand team, but certainly it was a word to Shalford. And he's not having a word with anyone else, so the responsibility is the captain's. He's not short of words, the All Black captain. So this is the distance that faces Mike Rea. Already one success to his credit in the match. 20 minutes gone and a chance for Cardiff then to regain a lead, a surprise lead they had early on in the game through a Rea penalty. Were he to put Cardiff in front, that would be greeted with a roar. Well, that's not well struck, to say the least. Kerwin with thoughts of the quick restart. The support from Craig Innes. His first appearance at this level. Innes, 20-year-old Aucklander, former New Zealand coach, and really thought to be one of the rising stars of New Zealand rugby. There is a loose ball there, and indeed it's taken by Collins. Watkins, good play from Cardiff as Crothers takes it on to Booth. To Watkins again, the hooker very much in the fray at the moment. Again it's won, it's driven on. Good play by the Cardiff forward. This is good rucking. This is doing to New Zealand what it normally does to others.
Marvellous play by the Cardiff forwards. Ian Watkins was twice involved in that movement. Tremendous surging, mauling runs, and eventually the All Blacks got over the top, killing the ball.
Well, Sean Fitzpatrick has the look about him.
And here's the vital ball, 50-50, and Richie Collins makes it his. Just watch for number 2, Watkins. Gives the ball, but he doesn't stand and watch. He's backing up again. There he is. Watkins taking the ball. Sets it up there. The Cardiff pack are there very quickly, and a good drive forward, setting up the penalty.
Rea with what appears to be a relatively simple kick at goal. And really, for the second successive time, and what disappointment for this man, having opened so encouragingly, now fails with 2 kicks.
That's a big disappointment for the Cardiff forwards, who worked very hard to set that position up. Really, when you play a team of the New Zealanders standard, you've got to take those golden opportunities.
Straight in front from some 18 metres, and a failure for Raya. That's Jones that wins that, number 5, taken on by Alan Wetton. Laid back, standing off this time is Shelford, without the headband now. Standing off is Raya in the outside half position, indeed takes on the midfield, and that's where the weakness is always, of course. Attack the midfield if you want to succeed, as Bishop changes direction. Lovely little pass in his, well, he had 3 outside him, 3 men, although Bishop is there now, but a chance seems to have gone missing there. This time the kick is the option. Very intelligently covered by Kerry Thomas. Indeed, he normally is a full-back, and the anticipation there was one of a full-back, and the kick as well, and that's excellently done. This man, not a certainty in the team, but he's certainly risen to the occasion today. Important that Cardiff don't lose heart, having been offered those 2 penalty awards in front. A chance to regain possession then. The All Blacks take that line out yet again. It's not always their strongest facet, but here today they've done particularly well. And that kick from Fox really wasted not a single inch. It was spun torpedo-wise, came in very nicely, perfectly for Fox. The 2 men at the front there facing one another, David Young of Cardiff and Ron Williams of New Zealand. 16 minutes to go of the first half, as again it's Fitzpatrick that tries to guide his side around the left-hand side. But again, as so often, it's the straight ahead that's the favoured option. Shelford gets Crothers, opposite captain Crothers, out of the way. The Cardiff forward standing up and certainly not giving in easily. But something went wrong there, according to the referee Megson. And indeed, as he attempts to disentangle Crothers and some of the New Zealanders, it's a penalty awarded. And again, it's an opportunity for Fox.
Danger signals really for Cardiff, because Murray Pearce, Ian Jones and Wetton have dominated the line-out so far this afternoon, and I think really Cardiff have got to start winning a little bit of their own ball.
I just wonder, Phil, we did see Cardiff break down the line-out once earlier on. They were penalised. Will it benefit them now to try more of that? I
would think they'd have to call a 2-man or 4-man with using Richie Collins' speed at the back of the line-out, thrown it wide.
So it's 3 points each, and Wayne Shelford won't be pleased with that, and that's why he brings his forwards around him, gives them that little bit of encouragement. Fox, so meticulous in that measured build-up of his. The inner calm, the deep breathing. Fox then, with this chance to put the All Blacks in front for the first time in this game. He fails, Ring collects, throws out a pass to Andrew Booth, and he in turn rifles the kick. That really puts the All Blacks back where they started. So again, the place kicking not that easy, and I wonder what sort of difficulties the wind is making on these place kickers, Phil Bennett.
There is a swirling wind out there, and for a man of Fox's capacity not to get near the post, it has to be pretty difficult out there.
We saw Fitzpatrick with a look on his face, a puzzled look on his face earlier on at the bottom of a ruck. Now he aims at the back. Upfield by Ring, anywhere really, and it bounces ever so kindly for John Kerwin. And perhaps Ring will wonder whether it was the right tactic. Had he just waited a second and perhaps picked his spot, it would have been more beneficial. "13 minutes to go in this, the first half, as Again, the All Blacks win Cardiff's possession at the line-out. Innes on the short charge, covered by Ring, but the ball travelled forward.
And what's been disappointing so far about the New Zealand play is that their backs haven't created a lot, and really they've got 5 Aucklanders in their backs, and one would think they'd be used to their style of play.
The referee keeps them apart just until Andrew Booth is ready to place that ball, although New Zealand were putting early pressure on that scrum, and no wonder. And perhaps rather unfairly, Andrew Booth will feel the Cardiff forwards were on the retreat before the ball was placed in the scrum. Perhaps he should have waited for a second rather than place the ball. Fox, and again perhaps indicative of the strength of the wind, decides not to go for goal, but really the aim is somewhere close, because the high kick, Testway, and what a catch from the full-back. That's never an easy situation when you're there standing and the whole of New Zealand charging down upon you, when you're just 5 metres away from your own goalpost. All sorts of things tend to play on the mind.
And Fox put the up and under in. It was a little long, but just watch Mike Greer, very brave, never took his eye off the ball. All Blacks bending down him, and he claims a mark. Good play by the Cardiff full-back.
It's not often we've seen play around that area. It's the Cardiff 22. 9 is Bishop, having one final look at his fly half Grant Fox. And again, it's line-out possession. This is Jones, the youngster, locked forward. Pearce, the veteran partner, right next to him. Again, the pass not the best possible, as Fox now looks for little space behind the Cardiff defence. But Steve Ford, alert to that, the number 11, the Cardiff number 11, indeed will look for a quick restart. Ever alert to try and relieve pressure, but finally decides it's into midfield and the conventional restart.
Perhaps been a little critical of the New Zealanders. It is their first match of the tour, but I find difficulty that Bishop and Fox, two experienced players, they don't seem to have each other in the game plan at the moment.
This is David Evans then. That's well measured. A chance for the Cardiff forwards, and indeed they take advantage of that as through comes Rowley, and the favoured forward tactic of the hack ahead, but effective enough on this occasion. For Cardiff there is Howard Stone, really a back row player and doesn't enjoy the lock position, but out of necessity, no option for Cardiff. Fitzpatrick has the aim. This time it's won by Cardiff. Not cleanly, but Booth sets off Evans on a little run. Edwards is quickly there, the number 8, so is Collins. They try and roll it, right side. This is more encouraging for Cardiff. But they lose that as Watkins and 1 or 2, and indeed Watkins offers an explanation for that little loss of temper. Captain Tim Crothers accepts the explanation. But now at centre spot, Fox aims at that far touchline. Ford is the man that collects that, the Cardiff left winger, but that's right into midfield. Now here's a chance for Shelford. The giant goes one way only. No deviation, one straight line, flatten the opposition, and Bishop then the up and under. And again, Rea really, despite the fact that he's failed with 2 relatively easy penalty goals, really is rock solid in defence. Some of his catching is absolutely top rate.
And I think if there's a lesson to be learned so far this afternoon, is that you don't fail to find touch, because when you reach a guy like Wayne Shelford, he charges straight back at you.
This is All Black pressure then. It's one. Then it's Bishop, then it's Fox, the little loop from Fox. No, it's the dummy for Schuster. But it wasn't reclaimed cleanly, says the referee. There were people going down and handling it on the ground, all sorts of indiscretions there.
And again, the New Zealand backs a little unsure. Schuster and Kerwin getting their decisions wrong.
And David Evans, again, and really the punting of the Cardiff players has been of the highest order, because constantly under pressure near their own try line, they've found touch with huge relieving kicks, and Evans has been the chief amongst them. Taken quickly this time. Bishop again sends it into midfield. This is Fox. taken by Collins. Lots of space there as finally Rea gets across, the covering from forward, the winger, and settled far side of the field. Rea then, the sound final line of defence for Cardiff at the moment. Again is taken quickly, Williams takes it at the front. Again it's Fox into midfield. This is Craig Innes, his favoured little left foot chip. But again across, and anticipating that is Rea. Steps so easily inside Terry Wright. A lovely little grubber kick as well. What confidence from this young man.
Good play by Rea, because his head could have dropped because he missed two simple kicks, but he gathered that, beat his winger, and then put a neat grubber kick in.
That's the young Ian Jones playing his first game ever in an all-black jersey. In front of him, Ron Williams, a prop forward. Interesting that the All Blacks have used him quite a bit at the front of the line out. The quick, flat one to the prop. This time Cardiff wins some sort of possession, but it's on the retreat and it delivers them all sorts of problems. But there was some obstruction at that line out as Cardiff won it untidily. And this offers Fox then yet another chance